Alright ladies, have you ever wondered what makes a man addicted to you? And I don't mean the harmful aspects of addiction. I like to use the definition from the Cambridge Dictionary that says, addiction is the strong desire to do or to have something. And what do you think a healthy masculine man deeply desires? Well, that is a woman who embraces her feminine energy. So today I'll discuss 3 feminine habits that have the power to captivate a man's heart and make him irresistibly drawn to you. Whether you're in a long-term relationship or navigating the early stages of dating, these are the things that you need to know for building an unbreakable bond between you two. So let's begin. So to start, I want you to be honest with me, ladies. How many of you are multitasking right now? Well, listening to me. How many of you are trying to read the comments, texting your friend, having other apps open while my video is playing in the background? Well, if you're doing this is the first point that I want to make on this video. You're spreading your energy thin by trying to do 20 things at once, which later leads to repeating the same pattern in many other areas of your life. Have you noticed many times when you go out, you feel somewhat insecure? And when you're in a big group surrounded by many people, you feel disconnected. It's exactly the same behavior due to a misuse of your focus and a misuse of your feminine energy. And here's how I want you to think about it. Where focus goes, energy flows. Listen to that again. Where focus goes, energy flows. When you create an attachment to a man and say, if he doesn't like me, I have to figure out what's wrong with me. You're giving him your energy, right? When you think that another woman is better than you try to compete with her, you're giving her your energy. If you're manipulating yourself so other people can like you, you're giving them your energy. And this will not only push them away, but you'll feel empty and ungrounded, like everyone is stealing and sucking your energy. And what I see happens a lot with women in long-term relationships is that you completely focus on making your man happy. You become codependent and give him all of your energy until he walks away and leaves you depleted and empty. And think about it like this, okay? This is you with your energy, and this is your man with his. He's going to come to you and take some of your energy, and you'll give it to him, because you're partners. Then he's going to come back and take some more. And by the 3rd time that he returns, you're going to stop him and ask him for some of his energy because you have to refill your tank. He needs to make an emotional investment in you as well. Otherwise, you end up in a one-sided relationship. And what's even more powerful is if he comes by and he notices that you're just focusing on yourself, empowering yourself, and you don't need his energy, then he's going to feel that I need to make my energy more desirable than the one that she's generating on her own. So I'm going to work to capture her attention and earn her focus. Does that make sense, ladies? If you were multitasking and missed that point, make sure that you go back and rewatch it again. So always pay attention when you're giving too much to a man that doesn't reciprocate your efforts. And when you focus too much on other people and what they think of you, because you're spreading yourself thin and becoming less magnetic. I see many other coaches online teaching women, pretty much how to mistreat or manipulate a man so he can like you, which is the worst way that you can go about building a healthy relationship. I hear things like, well, don't give him a compliment, be cold and distant so he can chase you. This is going to be effective many times because you're not giving him your energy, right? So he's going to chase. But how long can you do that for? I mean, imagine that you're trying to build a family with this man and you need to play all these silly games to keep him attracted. And you see, there are healthy ways to create stronger attraction with a man that I explain, in many of my videos. So you just need to understand the essence of these habits that I'm explaining and then execute them in a mindful way. For example, being a challenge to a man is not about manipulation or pretending. Rather, it's an invitation to challenge him and yourself so you both can become the best versions of yourselves. Because here's something that I want you to understand. A man doesn't want a follower. Those men that you see online and showing all the supermodels like trophies, those men will replace those women as many times as they replace their fast cars. What a disciplined and dedicated man wants is a teammate. He wants a woman that complements his weaknesses. And I'll give you a perfect example. Imagine that you and him are texting, okay, and he's having a lot of typos. You know, he's misspelling words, a complete mess. Well, you are the opposite. You use capital letters, punctuation, good grammar, and at one moment, you can actually challenge him and say, hey, you know, I don't mean to be rude, but sometimes I have a hard time focusing on what you're texting because of your grammar. Now, I know what many of you are probably thinking. Ismail, that's so mean. I would never say something like that. Well, guess what? The women that say those things are the ones that he's probably chasing. You have to have some high standards for yourself. And I always tell this to men and women. Your text messages are the way that you communicate to the world, the way that you present yourself, especially when you first start dating. Later, as you're more comfortable, you can be more relaxed with these things. But it's like, imagine you go on a date and you're missing a shoe. You know, your hair is a mess and your nails are all broken. I bet you wouldn't do that, would you? So don't do the same with your text messages. For point number 3, I want you to ask yourself this question. Am I an emotional, intelligent woman? And I know that you're probably going to think, yes, Ismail, of course I am. Okay, I'm not disagreeing, but just in case that you feel you can improve in this area, here are some questions that can help you analyze your emotional intelligence. Number 1, how do I handle my emotions during conflicts or disagreements with a man? 2, do I actively listen to his perspective and try to understand his emotions and experiences? 3, how effectively do I communicate my thoughts, feelings, and needs to him? 4, do I pay attention to how I feel when I'm around him? And 5, am I flexible and adaptable, or do I resist change and become anxious and upset? You see, we as men have many blind spots, okay? And when you ladies are completely tuned into your intuition, you can tell us things that we may not notice. Like, I've been in a relationship in the past where my girlfriend at the moment, you know, she would tell me something about one of my friends. Like, hey, I don't really like that friend of yours. Like, I think he's jealous of you. And she would explain things that I had not noticed at all, you know, about that friend. And once I started paying attention, I would see that she was right. I would notice those things. And that's the power of an emotional, intelligent woman. And that's what many men seek for. Also, emotionally intelligent women do not play games, okay? They're clear on what they want and clear in their expectations. They do as they say they will and stand by the word. So they aren't a million guessing games. Because ladies, there is nothing more frustrating than trying to figure out what you're thinking if you cannot communicate your emotions properly. If a man sees that you always tell the truth, you can read his mind, you trust your intuition, and you don't put up with games, his respect for you will be undeniable. He will feel that I have to be myself with her, because if I'm not, she's so emotionally intelligent that she will see through my masks. So I'll let my guard down. That being said, ladies, if you enjoyed my content, I have a favor to ask. One of the reasons that many men and women are struggling in relationships today is because of the misinformation and horrible advice being given online by many other sources. So if you believe in the ideas and subjects that I discuss, please subscribe to the channel so more men and women can watch these videos and we can change this hookup culture mentality that's destroying the way that we fall in love. Anyways, that's all for today. Thanks for watching, and remember that for your relationships to change, you need to change. Have a beautiful day.